say, he hasn't been here before. It's a challenge for them. But when they're green, well, relatively green as well, the challenge is magnified. Now this is a very steep hill, but we're going to trot down it. And he'll have to keep his legs. He's got 4 of them. I don't think the camera's picking up this gradient, but it is steep. I'll try and take him in the middle. He's got new shoes, so he shouldn't slip. I do want him a bit tired out before I hit the cornfield, because they've been hedging in it today, and where they've cut the branches, they've left them in piles on the side, which you know what horses are like with those sorts of things. Yes. As his confidence in me increases, he won't feel the need to sort of make a display like that. An old trailer. He's done very well. He's come all the way down this hill without tripping once. Well, we're not at the bottom yet. By the time we get to the cornfield, hopefully he'll be in a mood to listen, to get the most out of it. And that's really what I want. I want to get the most out of it. I don't want to be on his case, as it were. Ideally, I want him listening so that I can talk as well. But if I can't, I can't. You know, I have a strategy, and if it, depending on what he's showing me, I may have to adapt it. But these big open spaces are best tackled either with a very steady horse, you know, a real nanny horse, or on your own. But you do want to have a bit of a partnership going, if only so that you feel more confident. So we've probably, I don't know, we've probably trotted a couple of miles already. There's, I think they're growing peas or some kind of legume here on the left. So when they're harvested, we can ride in there as well. There's quite a barky dog at the farm cottage down at the bottom on the left, but because we've met that Doberman, the other 2 weren't really worried, so I don't think Higgins will be. But you just never know, so you've got to deal with whatever's coming about. You see, that's why luckily when he did that stop and back up and stuff, luckily there was nothing coming. But you see, this is why horses, you know, they do need this straightness training, which doesn't mean that they're straight all the time, but eventually, you know, they are 95% of the time, depending on the rider. But you know, you can't have them backing into the road like that, you know, it's dangerous. I think he's beginning to settle a little bit now, the head's come down. It's lower and he's not so strong in my hand. Come on, car, I don't want to stop. Thank you. He's already sweating and pooping. Yeah, he's definitely not settled, because it's this is why, you know, they need to come on lots of different routes, and this is why it takes so long You know, you think it's not like half an hour around the block on these horses. If only it were, you know, we could get 10 of them ridden with no problem, you know, on the same route, just going round and round a known route. It is bringing them out of their comfort zone, covering, you know, big distances, and thank goodness I've got the kind of health to be able to do it, because it's physically very intense, because I'm riding him mentally as well as physically as I do them all. You know, he's not taking me for a ride, I'm taking him for a ride. Thank you. But having said, you know, yes, he's still a little bit green, and there's work to do, but he's a very honest horse, and, you know, he's a quiet horse, he's not high energy, and all that stuff, you know, it's largely adrenaline. I think that's the hedge cutter. It's adrenaline because it's somewhere different. If we were going through the village, you could probably hardly raise a trot. But see, when we used to take him to the village, he was very unsettled anyway, because he was just starting his training. So before we bring them out of their comfort zones like this, we've got to feel that they're kind of listening to us, and that they've seen enough of life in the village to hopefully cope with what they're going to meet in this big cornfield, like people in the distance, dogs, cut foliage, well, who knows what you're going to meet. There was been tractors there for the last few days. I'm going to keep him trotting. He says, well, couldn't we have ridden to the forest? I like the forest. So when I get into the cornfield, I might start circling, depending how I feel he is. Boy. Well, at least you've seen wheelie bins, haven't you? That's the other thing, you know. There's lots of wheelie bins in the village for them to get used to. This is some kind of farm here, working farm, and I can already hear the dog. Here's a good boy. Right. Now this is the more major road here. I'm not worried about the vehicles, I just don't want him to shy into the path of one. It's always a concern. But the road's clear, so I might just make it. Might shorten up my reins a little. I think he is tired, but because he's slightly on edge, you know, he is in a slightly survival mode, so you don't really see the tiredness. There, we haven't got long to go now. It's the very next entrance. We're coming into this lovely big cornfield. So that's why I've come this way round, so I can prepare him